So a big aspect of any professional service firm is utilization and billable hours. How to track it, how to set the goals for billable hours monthly and annually, and then also what type of rates should be charged for those hours. So what we look at as a company with our clients is first, what is the goal? And a lot of times the goals are different by position, right? So, and maybe you want to talk a little bit about different things different positions actually do.
Yeah, I think what's important is that, again, is how do we maximize the value of each individual within the company? So at the lower levels, most of their time is most likely going to be billing hours to clients. Once you get to the higher levels, these individuals might be more involved in the sales process, they might be more involved in other initiatives within the company. And so their billable hour requirements might be lower. So it really depends on what value they're bringing to the client or to the company outside of the time they're spending with clients. And I think a question I always ask myself is, well, if they're not billing these hours, if they're not billing hours, what are they doing? And so, and are they adding value to the company? And that helps to determine what the appropriate billable hour goal is for each individual. And I will add one thing too is some individuals might be watching and saying, well, we do fixed fee, so we don't have to track billable hours, or we don't have goal billable hours. And I think it's just as important because those individuals are working over a period of time. If they're not efficient, your realization and your profitability on specific clients is not going to be as strong as maybe it otherwise could. So even with fixed fee arrangements, I still feel it's important to track hours, understand the profitability on your engagements so you can better estimate and determine what your fixed fees might be, but also to manage your business effectively and make sure you're tracking the right metrics for success.
And so we look at billable hours on a basically daily basis, but weekly, monthly. We track it. I strongly believe that every company who's in professional service should have some type of software. It shouldn't be Excel that you're tracking this on if you have revenue over a few $1 million. And you're able to pull those reports and look at that, right? And then you're setting that monthly goal based on the annual goal you have, and then you're looking at what is the realization every month. What we like to do is give incentive to hit that realization, to hit that goal. I think that's an important aspect where you're kind of sharing the value that employees creating by achieving their goals or going above their goals.
Yeah, I think it gives you good, solid data and also helps you determine when you should be hiring your next individual, right? So if you have good, solid information, you understand when you should be hiring somebody and also the impact of what that hiring might mean to the business as well.
And as you scale and grow, you understand your capacity and your ability to take on the next client with the current team, or again, to hire the next employee or employees. So you're always able to hopefully be a step ahead of the next deal versus being reactive constantly. And the final part of that is setting your price, right? How do you set your hourly rate if you're doing it by rate? And to Jason's point, I would say you set an hourly rate even if you're going to fixed fee, because that's how you're figuring out your fixed fee is the input of those hours, correct? So figuring that out is going back to discussions we've had about margin. What is your gross margin? What is the gross margin you want? Because that's where you start to say, I want, let's say, a 50% gross margin. I know how many hours I'm asking my team to work, and so you work backward from that and you define what your potential hourly rates can be.
Right, and the last thing I'll say is that margin, or that the rates that you bill out at, a lot of times that can be determined by the market, but it can also be determined by the value that you bring to your clients compared to competition. But it also helps you to determine and validate the cost of your employees and what your compensation to your employees should be. And so all three of those things go together, which is what you're billing your clients out at, what your compensation to your employees is, and also then the margins that you're able to achieve from, on an employee by employee basis.